Hola amigos! Today we're going to look at what we did in Spanish 101 on day 2 of class. So this is still first week material. In our last class we looked at greetings and introductions, and today we did a little bit of review of that along with some other things. First little joke. ¿Cuál es el día favorito del gato? What is the cat's favorite day? So you have here lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, y domingo. These are the days of the week in Spanish. Which one of those do you think was the cat's favorite day? Miércoles. All right. Let's go. So we did greetings review. Remember some of the greetings that we learned last time. So we're going to look at these now and decide whether we're going to use the formal or the informal with each of these. So think about these. Buenos días, señor. What do you think? Formal or informal? If you're thinking formal, you're right, because of the señor. How about number 2? Bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Right, for that one it's informal because tú is the way we say you to a friend or family member. Oops, that looks like I'm missing a question mark on number 3. That's okay. All right, so the question 3 is asking, ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? That's right, informal, because it's asking, ¿Cómo te llamas tú to your friend? All right, adiós, señorita. Right, again here, señor, señorita, it indicates formal, so this one's formal. ¿Cómo estás? That one's tricky because I took out the pronoun, but it goes with tú, so that one's informal. Hola, Ángela. And that would be informal, of course. It looks like you're talking to somebody you know. And ¿Cómo está usted? Exactly, it's the opposite of ¿Cómo está? Well, it's not the opposite. It's asking the same question as ¿Cómo estás? But in the formal. ¿Qué tal? Now, ¿qué tal would be informal. That's the one we're going to use with people we know well. We're not really going to use that one with someone that we would address more formally. Now, how would you say goodbye to the following people? Someone you'll be seeing shortly. What are some possible ways to say see you shortly, see you soon, see you tomorrow, see you next week, see you. Think about some of those. So there's different options, that one. So hasta mañana, hasta pronto, hasta luego, nos vemos. Those are all valid. For number 2, that one is pretty limiting, right? We're just going to use hasta mañana to say see you tomorrow. And for number 3, what would you say to your elderly neighbor? You could always say adios. Adios will always work. And your best friend, you're going to be a little informal there, right? So you might say chao or nos vemos. Those are all valid. I'm going to have you take a few minutes to look over that one. Why don't you pause the recording and try to answer these, fill in the blanks with the missing information. I'm going to stop talking. You can stop the recording and then start it up again when you're ready to check your answers. So you've written down your answers. You're coming back to check. Number 1, hola Antonio, ¿qué tal? Bien, ¿y tú? Más o menos. Number 2. ¿Cómo te llamas? Me llamo Alicia. Mucho gusto. Igualmente. Or you could have put there encantado or encantada instead of mucho gusto. For number 3. ¿Cómo está usted? Bien, gracias. ¿Y usted? Muy bien. And number 4, buenas tardes, profesora. Hola, Irene, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien. ¿Y usted? Estoy muy bien, gracias. Now, of course, there's some variations in here, so if you put something down and you're not sure, just shoot me an email and double check it, because you can have different answers for these. I'm sure you did great. Let's move on. So here we have el alfabeto español. This is actually the old version of the alphabet. They've actually removed some of the letters out of here, so you may see another version in your course. But I'll go ahead and go through these for pronunciation so that you can practice. We have A, B, C, Ch, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, Y, M, N, Ñ, O, P, Q, R, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. You're going to want to practice those, and remember, focus especially on those vowels, right? Because those vowels, you want to train your brain to not look at those like the English sounds. So instead of A, E, I, O, U, you're doing A, E, O, U. Practice that. A, E, O, U. All right, so when you have a partner, you can ask them their name by saying, ¿Cómo te llamas? We remember that one, right? And then ask how they spell their name. ¿Cómo se escribe tu nombre? And you can practice with that person spelling out their name using the alphabet and see if you can recognize the letters that they're telling you. Now, subject pronouns. Subject pronouns in Spanish work just like in English. We're gonna always use this chart, right? We're gonna have 3 rows: first person, second person, and third person. And we're gonna have singular pronouns and plural pronouns. In the singular column, our first person is I, right? So think like narrating a story. When you have a first person narrator, they're talking, I this and I that. Second person you, third person he, she, and it. Now in Spanish, there's no it, okay? So just a mental note on that one. In the plurals, we, you, and they. So first person is we, second person you, and third person they. Exactly that structure is what we're going to do in Spanish. So in Spanish, our pronouns are yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, nosotras, vosotros, vosotras, ellos, ellas, and ustedes. So yo is to say I, tú is to say you to somebody you know well, right, or you're a friend or family member. Él means he, ella means she, and usted is the other you, the formal one. And we put it down there because the conjugation is going to be the same for él, ella, and usted. So we need to separate formal and informal. So we keep tú, the informal, in the second person row, and then we put usted down here. On the plural side, we have nosotros and nosotras. Nosotros is to say we, and so is nosotras. So when do you use which? Nosotras is if you're saying we. If you're a girl and you're with a group of only girls, you're going to say nosotras. But if you are a male or you're in a mixed group, you're going to say nosotros. And the same thing here with vosotros and vosotras. However, let's not worry too much about that because this is the plural you. It's a little bit like saying y'all, and it's only used in Spain. So everybody else to say you all, they're going to use ustedes. So let's go ahead and come on down here. Look at ellos, ellas, and ustedes. Ellos means they, ellas means they. They both mean they. It's just like up here. If the group is all girls, you're going to say ellas. If the group has at least one male in it, ellos. And then, like I said, ustedes is to say you all. So this is how we're always going to conjugate. And that's a scary word, I know, but it's really not a big deal. Conjugating in Spanish is just like we do it in English. First, let's take a look at this chart. See if you can figure out how to classify these pronouns according to the categories. So you've got singular and plural, masculine, feminine, familiar, and formal. Now, not all of these are going to apply in all the cases, right? So let's take, for example, nosotras. It means we, right? So it's plural. And look at the ending. Is it masculine or feminine? Right, it's feminine. And then here, this doesn't come into play. So we're not looking at formal and informal when we say we. We are, however, when we say usted. And we know that that's formal. Whether you're speaking to somebody who's male or female, it doesn't matter. You're still going to use usted. So that doesn't come into play. And then here, is it singular or plural? Compare the two here. Right, this one's singular and this one's plural. Go ahead and fill out that chart and take your time on it. I'm sure you're going to do great. So, which pronoun would you say you, well, actually not all of these are you, are they? Which pronoun would you use in each of these cases? Talking to your instructor, to a mixed group of friends, to your parents, to a friend, to a mixed group of friends, to the parents of your friends. Think about which one you would use. Tú, usted, nosotros, vosotros, ustedes. And then do it again over here. Which pronouns would you use to talk about these groups of people? Think about those and how you would do that. Now let's look at verb conjugation. It's a big word that's really, it sounds scary, and like I said, it's not. It's how we break down a verb. So for example, in English, the verb to be, you wouldn't say I to be, you to be, he to be, right? We're going to break it down. So you would say I am. But you're not going to say you am, he am. You see what I'm saying? So it's going to change with each person. So I am, but you are, and he is. Notice that the verb changed for each person. We're doing the same thing in Spanish, right? So yo soy means I am. Yo soy, I am. Tú eres, you are. Él es, ella es, usted es. To say he is, she is, or if we're using usted to talk about somebody formally, we would also use es. We're going to use somos to say we are, nosotros somos, nosotras somos. Vosotros sois, vosotras sois, to say y'all are. Again, remember, that's only in Spain, because everyone else is going to say ustedes son, to say you all are. Then ellas son and ellos son, they are. And here's an example of how we would put it into a sentence. Yo soy de los Estados Unidos. Soy norteamericana. Y mi esposo, my husband, es de Francia. Él es francés. Did you get what that said? So I am from the United States. I am North American. And my husband is from France. He is French. ¿Y tú de dónde eres? ¿Y tú de dónde eres? And you, from where are you? Why don't you answer the question? Where are you from? And you can say, yo soy de Maryland. Yo soy de los Estados Unidos. Yo soy de Hagerstown. You can use a city, a state, a country in your answer. Everything goes. But what you want to do is put it in that structure. Yo soy de, and then the place. All right, so which subject pronoun corresponds to each of the verb forms? How about eres? What do you think? That's right, tú. And somos? Nosotros. And son? This one has a couple of options, right? Exactly. Ellos, ellas, and ustedes. How about here? Just one answer for this one. That's right, yo soy. Yo. And here has a few options. The singulars, he, she, él, ella, and then usted. And this one is only in Spain, so that's right, vosotros, vosotras. Good. All right, so here now you can put these together and start making sentences. Why don't you look over these elements and see if you can't put these together. But don't forget, you've got to make sure that that verb, ser, has the same form that corresponds to the pronoun. So if it's yo, it needs to be soy, right? And if it's my friend, it's like saying ella. So we need this, ser, to be in the ella form. And then this one needs to be in the tú form. Where are you from? So it needs to be, you guessed it. Yep, I'm not going to say it. You know it. Y la profesora is again like saying ella. And then nosotros. Now what would we do with mi madre y mi padre? My mother and my father. It's like saying who?